Right now, silver is doing something it's never done before. Prices have skyrocketed by 113% in just 1 year. This isn't your typical commodity rally. This is something completely different. There's a hidden hand behind this surge, and it's all tied to China. But here's the twist. This isn't just about market forces. It's strategic. It's a calculated move that could change everything. So why should you care? Because this isn't just a silver price spike. It's about the power shifts of the 21st century. Stick with me, and I'll show you how this unfolds in the next 3 weeks. Let's break this down. On October 30th, 2025, China made a move that stunned the silver market. They announced new export control measures. Starting January 1st, 2026, every silver shipment from China will need government approval, quotas, licensing, and even national security reviews. It's as if China just grabbed the global silver market by the throat. But here's the catch. This isn't just a trade decision. It's a power play. Why now? Why silver? And what does this mean for you? You might be thinking this is just another trade war, another political stunt, but let me show you why this could be the beginning of something far bigger. The market's response was immediate. Within weeks, Shanghai's silver inventories plummeted by 40%. Let that sink in. 40% less silver available, just like that. In China, physical silver premiums skyrocketed. Buyers were paying up to double the global spot price. Imagine that. Silver worth $128 an ounce. It's not just the Chinese buyers scrambling. Western mints are reporting sellouts. And London Metal Exchange inventories, they're at multi-year lows. The demand for physical silver is insane. But here's the kicker. This is no accident. This is China playing the long game, and they're calling the shots. So what happens when the world can't get the silver it needs? Watch how fast this escalates. Now let's talk about what happens next. Silver isn't just a shiny metal. It's crucial to modern technology. Your smartphone, about half a gram of silver. Electric vehicles, 25 to 50 grams each. Solar panels, 20 grams per panel. And here's the big one, AI data centers, the very backbone of tech tools like ChatGPT. They're some of the largest consumers of silver in history. Each server uses silver-coated components for heat management and high-speed connectivity. That's right, AI alone is expected to gobble up 200 million ounces of silver by 2030. But here's the thing, America only produces about 14% of the silver it needs. And China? They don't mine the most silver, but they dominate the refining process. They've been the ones turning raw silver into high purity material, and they're controlling the flow, but not anymore. China just flipped the script. Now, I know what you're thinking. China wouldn't risk hurting their own economy by restricting silver exports, right? That would be too extreme. But here's why I think that's a huge miscalculation. This isn't just a negotiation tactic, it's part of a bigger plan. When I looked into this, I found a pattern. A very familiar one, a pattern that has played out before in history, a pattern that led to the decline of once dominant global powers. China learned from this. They saw how Germany did it to Britain in the late 1800s. Germany didn't just start an open war. No, they created delays. They tested the system. They caused disruption. By 1900, steel prices in Britain had tripled. British factories slowed down and the military couldn't keep up. The same thing happened to Britain's dominance when they depended on Germany's steel. History shows how this plays out. Too little, too late. Now China is repeating it with silver. Now let's stack up the pressure. In the past few weeks, we've seen a rapid series of developments. First, China's restrictions go into effect just 3 weeks from now. Second, the U.S. government finally acknowledges silver as a critical mineral in 2025. And third, global silver shortages are escalating. Analysts are already estimating a shortfall of around 800 million ounces. That's nearly 15% of annual demand, and it's getting worse. But here's the critical part. The global supply chain for silver isn't built to ramp up quickly. About 70% of silver is a byproduct of mining for other metals like copper and zinc. You can't just snap your fingers and get more silver. If copper demand drops, silver production drops too. And that's exactly what's happening right now. The question is, what happens if this keeps going? Now let's talk about how this hits you. Even if you've never thought about silver before, this matters because silver is in everything. It's in your smartphone, it's in electric vehicles, it's in solar panels, and it's in the tech infrastructure behind AI tools. If silver prices skyrocket, your daily life gets more expensive. Your phone could cost more, your electric vehicle more expensive. Even your electricity bill might go up because silver is key to the tech that powers our modern energy systems. The ripple effect of this shortage won't just affect big companies, it'll hit your pocket too. If this feels familiar, say so in the comments. You might be seeing the first signs of the next wave of price hikes, but here's where it gets unsettling. This isn't just about the price of silver, this is about the systems that allow this to happen. China isn't acting randomly. They're exploiting the leverage they've built over decades, and this move is part of a larger strategy. Think about it. China controls the refining process for silver, meaning they hold the power over who gets access to this critical resource. It's not just silver. This is a test to see if the United States will respond decisively. China's move here is like a shot across the bow. They know that the U.S. depends on foreign supply chains for critical minerals. China is now testing how far they can push before America finally reacts. But the real kicker? These global dependencies aren't just economic, they're strategic. The price of silver is just the beginning. So what happens next? There are two paths we could go down. Path one, the U.S. gives in, prices surge, industries pass the cost to consumers. That means you pay more for your phone, your car, and even your electricity. Silver will become a hidden cost built into every piece of modern technology. Path two, the U.S. fights back, pressures other countries to increase production. But here's the problem. China has already outbid everyone with its $3 trillion in foreign reserves, and they control the refining process. Plus, the other silver-producing countries are at max capacity. So where does that leave us? Either way, the timeline is compressed. America can't afford to wait too long. Whatever happens, silver's strategic importance will be at the heart of it. Here's the bottom line. Silver isn't just a commodity, it's a geopolitical weapon. And China just showed the world how much power they're willing to wield over it. The U.S. is reacting late, and the stakes are only getting higher. But what if this isn't just about silver? What if this is part of China's bigger plan to control the 21st century economy? Rare earths, cobalt, tungsten. These are the next targets, and if Washington doesn't act soon, it might be too late to secure a real solution. The question is, can the U.S. catch up in time, or will history repeat itself? I'll break down which industries are most vulnerable, which companies are positioning themselves for survival, and the moves that institutional investors are making right now that aren't being covered in the mainstream. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button for more.